What is up? What is up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Nothing But Rip. Happy Friday. Happy game one of the World Series, Dodger Nation. Um, let's get it, man. Let's get it. It's here. You know, got got it done. So, as most of you guys saw, took the top off. Um, you know, I got some I got some hairs growing back, but yeah, man, I think I don't know, kind of kind of digging it. Feel feel lighter, feel a little bit more free. Um, but yeah, I mean, how to do it? Like I said, if the Dodgers were gonna make the World Series, I was gonna shake my head, and they did it, man. They did it. Um, so yeah, I mean, kind of been kind of been feeling it a little bit though. Yeah, hopefully we could take game one. Hopefully we could take game one and go back to back. Go back to back and, send Kershaw send Kershaw on his way into retirement and, do it for Kersh, baby. Um so yeah, man, I mean, a lot of good stuff going on right now though. We got NBA. NBA's back. Uh hot start to the season. Hot start to the season, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Um with the whole gambling and betting situation. But I mean, what can you do, man? What can you do? I mean, I don't know. It's a tough situation. Tough situation, but we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, man, excited for basketball to be back. Lakers took a L their first game against the Warriors. Warriors are off to a hot start right now. I mean, Steph Curry, he's cooking. He's cooking. Wembayama was looking pretty good. I mean, he had a great, great first game, 40 points against the Mavs. Spoiled Cooper Cup. I mean Cooper Cup, Cooper Flags. As you can tell, I'm still in the football mode. But yeah, Cooper Flags, debut. But he'll be all right. He'll be all right. I mean, I don't know. I think you just gotta give him some time. You just gotta give him some time. I know he has a lot of expectations, and you know, at the end of the day, he's a great player. He's a great player, but you just gotta give him some time. You know, one game, one game. So I'm sure he'll have a great season. I'm sure the Mavs will have a great season. I'm sure they'll be top team in the West. And but man, I mean, the West is pretty stacked. The West is pretty stacked. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, last week of October coming up, we got Halloween. Got Halloween next week. Be doing some trick or treating with the little one. I think she wants to be Belle for the second year in a row. We'll see if she changes her mind, but looks like we'll be doing the Beauty and the Beast again. So um, yeah, she likes Halloween. She likes going out and trick or treating and getting all the candy and seeing all the other kids in their costumes. And now that she's in school, she has a little Halloween event at school. So she's pretty excited for that. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Cool to experience. Her going through all that stuff and with school and stuff like that. So yeah, she likes Halloween though. Um, I know I always liked Halloween when I was younger. Dressing up and going out with friends and you know, trick or treating, getting all the candy. We used to get pillowcases. We used to get pillowcases. Fill them up with candy. So it was fun. It was fun back in the day. I don't think it is it's what it used to be. I mean, there's kids. I know there's kids that still go out and trick or treat, but I think back then it was just a little bit more exciting and stuff. So, but yeah, anyways, I mean, um, yeah. So we're going into November. Holidays are coming up, and before you know it, we'll be rocking in 2026. 2026, man, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, but yeah, so we'll see how this year ends. We'll see how this year ends, and transitions into a new year. Um, but yeah, man, World Series, baby. I mean, our pitching has just been our pitching has just been on fire. I mean, that series against the Brewers, I mean, we were just we were just unhittable. Like, Snell, then Yamamoto, you know, Glass now, Otani doing his thing, so hopefully we could keep it rocking. And I know the Blue Jays, they got a squad. They got a good squad, so they're there for a reason. So it should be a good series. It should be a good series. It might go 7 games. Um, but hopefully we could if it does go 7 games, hopefully we could take it out there in Canada, you know, win one in another country. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But it'll be crazy to go back to back. It'll be crazy to go back to back. I don't know. I think the Yankees were the last team to go back to back. So um yeah, that'll be that'll be insane. That'll be insane. So we got Snell on the mound. So hopefully he goes out there and does his thing like he did in the last series and take game one. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I know like the Dodgers, you know they invest in their team, and this is the outcome of that. We got a lot of good players. I know the organization has invested a lot of money into this team, so you know hopefully it could all pay off and you know get another get another World Series. Um, but yeah, so pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about that. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, a little unfortunate that the basketball season got you know off to a little rocky start with the whole, illegal gambling and betting situation. Um, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, eventually it's just gonna catch up to you, and unfortunately it involves, some well-known well-known players and, ex-players. Um, but I'm sure there's a lot more to it. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, betting is just it's a very common thing right now in sports. We got so many different, ways to bet on sports, so many different programs and platforms, apps. Um, I know I do my fair share of betting. I try to keep it, you know, try to keep it to a minimum. I don't go too crazy with it. Um, try not to get too crazy with it. But I mean, it's a part of it's a part of our society. It's a part of sports, you know. It's a part of sports. It's always been a part of sports, and there's always been some sort of connection, with different, I guess, different groups, throughout time that have been involved in sports, and it's just a part of it. It's just a part of it. So, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's not going to be the last time. Um, and I'm sure it's not only the NBA, so um, unfortunately that's just what, you know, that's that's who's involved in it right now. And but yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to be the last case that we see like this, Um, so we'll see how that all turns out. Hopefully, the NBA can, you know, just, keep it going and whatever investigations they got to do, But yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It does kind of suck, for like, um, the teams involved and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's something that's bound to happen, when you got, you know, gambling just so so ingrained in sports, and it's like, I don't know, like, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Um, we'll see what happens. I know there's a lot of, just, there's a lot that's deeper than the surface, and you know, so, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough to start the season out that way, but you know, hopefully they could just keep it rolling. Lakers, they play tonight against the Timberwolves, so we'll see if we can get our first dub. I know Minnesota, they're gonna be a tough team again this year. Ant-Man, he's gonna do his thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. we'll see what's going on with Luca. Looked like he kind of got a little injury that first game, so we'll see if he'll be able to suit up tonight. LeBron, I think he's still out, so we'll see if the guys can hold it down. Um, I think we'll have a solid season. Uh, I know it'll probably be tough. Like, hopefully Aiton he can, you know, be a dominant presence and, facilitate, that way. And, you know, I know size is going to be a big factor, but um, you just gotta stay healthy. Luke, hopefully Luke could just stay healthy and, LeBron come back and, just be able to. Luka's gonna be able to take a lot of pressure off of LeBron. So I mean, hopefully LeBron could just, you know, do his thing. He's still LeBron, even though he's 140 years old. Like um, I'm sure he still has a little bit of juice left in the tank. So yeah, hopefully they could just have a good season and you know get at least top eight. And make the playoffs. But like I said, the West is stacked. OKC, man, they've had two double overtime games, which they've got out of, and and yeah, so every team that's gonna play OKC is gonna give them their best. So, but they've been able to hold it down so far. So I'm sure they're gonna be right there again, trying to defend their title. So, um, but yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be kind of tough for the Lakers, but we'll see. We'll see if they make any moves, during you know, before the trade deadline, and maybe pick up a couple more pieces. Yeah, man. Um, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I know I've been a little MIA with the episodes. Just got really busy with work and stuff. So I'm gonna try to get an episode a week, maybe Friday episodes, and just keep up with what's going on and stuff like that. Uh, it's crazy because every time I touch my head, like sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget I shave my head, and it's like, oh shit, I really am bald. But it is kind of growing back a little fast. I don't know. What do you guys think? You know, I kept some hair down here, but you know, we'll see. I still got patches. I'm not able to grow out a full beard. I'm not able to. I don't have that. I don't know. I don't know. I just because I never used like a actual razor. I've always just used like just clippers. I have that. I have that sensitive skin, but it's probably why I never was able to grow a full beard. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think we'll keep it like this, maybe for the whole series, maybe for the whole series. it does feel it does feel kind of weird though. You know, you have hair for like your whole life, and then just not to have hair. But it's been good for the weather because for some reason it's not getting cooler. We're in October, and it feels like summer. It's been good for golf though. It's been perfect weather for golf. I've been taking advantage of that. Man, perfect weather for golf. Shout out to all my golfers out there. You know, yeah, it's been really good weather for golf. So I don't know. Maybe it'll just stay like this for the rest of the year. That'll be cool. I think the time daylight savings is coming soon, so it'll be getting darker earlier, which kind of sucks. That kind of sucks for golf. It gets dark like around 5. So yeah, yeah. I caught the golf bug recently, so I've been getting out there pretty often. I mean, my work, you know, I work in a golf organization, so it allows me to play a little bit more often. Um, but yeah, uh, we'll see what November brings. See what November brings. Um, I hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are good. You know, um, really not much going on. Right now in my life. You know, just trying to keep at it and you know grind it out. Um, so sometimes that's just all we could do. Sometimes that's just all we could do, man, is just grind it out, you know, um, and just keep striving for whatever we got, in our minds, and you know, life life can get tricky sometimes, you know, but at the end of the day, it's what we got to do. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys are doing your thing and trying to end this year off strong. Um, you know, and go into the new year on a good note. Start fresh. That's a good thing about New Year's, and it's like you get a sense of like a refresh and a restart. Even though like every day is pretty much a refresh and a restart. You know, even though like you know the day before you know carries on to the next day, but every day's a new day, man. Every day's a new day, and every day you get a chance to, you know, do something better, and you get a chance to be better. You get a chance to learn new things, get a chance to do new things. Um, so, but I know the new year, is it's a very symbolic way of like, just a little refresher, a little refresher, set new goals, and just try to do better than the previous year. So but yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, like life is gonna life is gonna come at you in so many different ways, you know? So many different ways. So many different ways, and we just gotta be able to manage it and navigate it, in a way that is beneficial to us and, in a healthy way. That's really all we can control at the end of the day is just how we manage, our obstacles and stuff like that. Obviously, if you got your stuff going on and you got things cooking and you're riding smooth, just keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. You know, if your waters are a little bit more, wavy and the ride is not as smooth, then it's about just working through it and managing the storm. You know, um, and that's really all we could do, and that's really all we can control. We can control. There's a lot of things that we can't control. A lot of things that we can't control. But the one thing that we could control is just, how we go about, you know, how we go about our shit. You know what I mean? Like that's really all we can control. And the more control you have over that, the more likely you're gonna be able to, get through, you know, difficult times and stuff like that. So, but you also got to find a balance of like um a balance between like what you got to take serious and what can you know be a little bit more light with. You know what I mean? Not everything has to be so serious. Like life is just about enjoying it. You got to enjoy your life. You got to enjoy, you know, what you have. You got to embrace what you have, even if you don't have a lot, you know? So, yeah, I don't know why I got super deep on that, but that's just what popped into the dome. Um, you know, and that's why it's good to have like a hobby. That's why it's good to have a hobby. For me, you know, although like golf is like golf is probably more than a hobby. Golf is something that I love doing and I have a huge passion for. But golf also gives me that ability to, you know, take a step back and feel a little bit more um at ease and at peace. Although golf itself has its, you know, the game can be stressful, especially if you're trying to do good and you're trying to, you know, do good at it. But at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game. It's like for me, it's like when I'm playing golf, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. If I'm playing competitively, then it might be a different story. But at the same time, I'm still in a state where you know it's a very peaceful state, and it's like it's controlled chaos. You know, um, and I have a lot of that's where I have a lot of control, when I'm playing golf. Um, because you're able to just go into another world. So like that's why it's good to have a hobby. It's good to have a hobby. It's good to do something that takes you away from, your everyday life and, whether it's just going to the gym, whether it's, you know, playing basketball, doing whatever sport, um, drawing, playing an instrument. It's good to have that thing that removes you from, you know, your, you know, removes you from like your everyday type of world or type of life. Like, you know, because at the end of the day, like, life is life, you know, life is life. And we all know what life can be. So it's good to have something that just allows you to have some type of peace and, gives you some sort of uh, positive energy, you know, especially like especially if you do something really, stressful, like if you work in a really stressful environment, you know, um, it's good to have that. It's good to have that. So yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. But yeah, that's what golf is. That's what golf is for me. If you know me, like I love golf. I love golf, and you know that like I would love to make golf, you know, something that I do like for a living, whether it's just working in golf, whether it's, uh coaching, whether it's, actually playing golf, you know, um because golf is just growing, you know. Golf is growing. It is becoming something that, you know, like it's the most popular it's ever been. And it's cool because like, I've been playing golf, like I talked about in the last episode, like I've been playing golf since I was a kid, and so it's cool to see like how it's evolved, and it's cool to see like it becoming so much more popular. You know, we got, the streaming movement, happening. So like, we got YouTube becoming a lot more prevalent. So like there's a lot of like YouTube golf that's, you know, it's growing, so I would like to do something like that too. Maybe start a golf channel, you know, and just, play golf, you know, do some type of, make it entertaining, and but yeah, I mean, those are just thoughts. Those are just thoughts, but at the end of the day, I would really love to do something in the golf space that, provides for me and my family. Like that's the ultimate dream, you know. But yeah, I mean, like I said, golf just allows me to have some type of escape, and but at the end of the day, we do got to come back into our realities and, face our realities and, keep striving for our goals and dreams. That's just what life is about. That's what life is about, man. Um, but yeah, we'll see what 2026 brings. You know, um, I'll be 34 years old, turning 34 in December, so that's right around the corner. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. I remember when I was like a teenager, and I would always think like, damn, like I wonder what it's like to be in like in your 30s. You know, we always have those thoughts when you're younger, like, oh, like I wonder what it's like to be older. But yeah, um, it's a trip. It's a trip to be here now and to have the experiences that I've had, and you know, but at the same time, like I know I still got a lot left. I know I still got a lot of days left, and you know, it's just about making the most of it. So yeah, the big three fold, big three fold. Hopefully the weather's cool so we play some golf. So if you're watching this, and if you're free around December 14th and you want to play some golf, hit me up. Um, but yeah, and my daughter's birthday's in January. She'll be turning 5. The big 5. It's crazy. In a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye. Shout out to all my parents out there. You know how it goes. You know how it is. You know, if you don't have kids and you want to have kids, we're not lying when we say enjoy every second. Enjoy every second. Because before you know it, they'll be, running around and bossing you around and, you know, just completely, taking ownership. Completely taking ownership, you know, especially if you have a girl. Especially if you have a girl, man. Um, but yeah, she'll be 5 years old, January 12th. So we'll see what we got going on. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the most part. Uh, what else we got going on? Hope you guys have a safe Halloween. I think the next one I'll do will probably be on Halloween or around that time. So if you guys are going out trick or treating, be safe. You know, don't be don't be eating no open candies or you know, just be safe out there, man. Um, but have fun and yeah, we'll uh we'll see if I keep the Baldy J going, the Pelon. We'll see if I keep rocking it out. But let's go Dodgers, baby. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Lakers, Raiders. I think we're just gonna take this season off. Um, High expectations, but I don't know. It's just another Raider season for the Raiders. Um, but yeah, NFL's getting good though. NFL's getting good. A lot of good There's been a lot of good games, so it's heating up. We got the second half of the season underway, so um, I think right now, we still got the Eagles. We still got the Eagles, the Lions. The Colts are looking. Their Colts are looking really good. They're no joke. They're no joke. Um, the Chiefs are starting to look like the Chiefs again. You know, uh, Seahawks, Rams, the Bucks are looking solid. The Bills. So we got a lot of good teams. A lot of good teams. Chargers are looking like they're getting their groove back. So it should be an exciting second half of the season. A lot of injuries though. A lot of injuries. Been messing up a lot of fantasy teams out there. Um, I've dodged some bullets. So um, hope your fantasy team is looking all right. Um, but yeah, man, it should be a good second half of the season. So we'll see. I think we're in week 8. Should be in week 8. So we'll see how week 8 turns out. Um, but yeah, guys, we'll uh we'll see what's cracking on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Just keep following. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Been nothing but Rip. Peace.